What's going on, everybody? It is your boy QuestX coming back at you once again with another video. And this is going to be an apology video. Apology video to Angela Kang, from the new writer of The Walking Dead. I did not watch the last few episodes. I definitely, after, like I said, I was going to stick to my thing. I was like, after Rick is gone, I personally had my opinions about the final episode that did not agree with a lot of other people. I did not like how they did the 6-year time jump. I particularly didn't like how Rick left the series. And then I also didn't like how Scott Gimple basically, I feel, is milking the fans for money, talking about a 3-movie a trilogy of films that will basically be brand new Rick Grimes stories. So we're, I guess, assuming they're going to take up showing, I guess, before the zombie apocalypse with Rick Grimes. Then I think after he gets airlifted to safety from the helicopter. And then the third one, I guess, concluding the Rick Grimes story. And then I'm pretty sure that if they're gonna end the series, I don't even think after the trilogy of films Rick Grimes will be killed. I think they're gonna bring Rick Grimes back for the final episode of the series when they end the series. So I basically, with all those factors kind of thrown in there, I said to myself, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'll watch the Rick Grimes trilogy films. But for everything else, I'm not going to go there. So I personally did not watch the last few episodes that have been since Rick Grimes, timely exit. How wrong I was. My lady, she decided she was going to watch him. Okay, she was like, no, I'm going to stick with the series. She did not agree with me in my position about not watching the remainder of the series and just walking away. And I said, hey, go ahead, do your thing. But the story is the Rick Grimes story. Rick Grimes is supposed to be there for this next very, very important war that's coming up. And I felt like, how can they continue on without Rick Grimes, right? So she's like, no, babe. She watches this past Sunday's episode. And she's telling me, she's like, oh, babe, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. So I go ahead on, and I decide last night I'm going to watch him, okay? I throw him on, and I must say how Angela Kang is handling the whispers is phenomenal. I did not think, it seems as if Angela Kang, the one thing I have to give her credit, she definitely seems to understand horror writing. That old school building tension within scenes. How the direction, the last few episodes, I have to admit this, I was wrong. The last few episodes, ladies and gentlemen, have been spot on with the horror of introducing the whispers. Now, I read the comic books. I continue to read the comic books. I am in like total awe with how they're introducing these guys. I thought to myself, like this past Sunday's episode, the opening scene, which by the way was directed by Michael Cutlass. If you don't know who Michael Cutlass is, that is Abraham. Was phenomenal. The opening minutes of that episode of just the point of view camera and Rosita running through the woods, and she's terrified and breathing heavy, and she can hear the whispers all around her in the trees, but you can't really see. You don't see anything. Was excellent. I'm almost. The way, and this is kind of where this is where I feel it's like a catch-22. Because Rick Grimes is no longer on the show, being honest, if I'm just being honest, I'm more interested in the whispers than I am in the group. And that's saying a lot, that because of 9 years, I've always been interested in the survival of the group. And this is what I hate, is because I've always rooted for the group. And now I'm kind of at the point where I'm kind of deviating and distancing myself. These last few episodes, I'm like, wait a minute. I could care less about Daryl. I could care less about Carol. I could care less about, the Hilltop and Maggie. I actually am interested in, because I'm not going to say because there are things that have not happened yet, but if you've read the comic book, the Whisperers are a very unique, very archaic, cult-like group. And it's going to be interesting to see. Basically, I hope, my hope is, because see, as a person who's read the comic books and the Whisperer Wars in particular, once the big reveal happens, it's going to be interesting to see if Angela Kang can keep up that terrifying now. And that's one of the smart things I think that she's done. These last couple episodes, and I wonder, because the mid-season finale is next week, I wonder if they're continuously going to drag this out. I wonder how long we're going to get to the major reveal of the Whisperers. I know that I watched some of the trailers too this morning, and I've just kind of examined them. I do definitely think we're going to see a Whisperer, like a full-on Whisperer, in the mid-season finale. There's a specific screenshot that I was looking at, and you clearly see that it is a Whisperer. So, but I wonder whether we're actually ever going to see a full-blown, like we're ever going to have interaction, like a one-on-one interaction with a full-blown Whisperer. I don't know if we're going to see it till probably the season finale. But that's smart on behalf of Angela Kang, because I think this, to lead up into this horror aspect to try to change the tone of the show from going from a political, because this is what I kind of feel. I feel like the first half of this season, or rather the Rick Grimes episodes, it was a political drama. And now it's turned into, with the introduction of the Whisperers, into a horror drama. And that's very difficult to do, and I have to give her credit for it. I have to give credit where credit is due. If I'm going to be consistent, I got to admit when I was wrong. I was completely wrong with what the show's quality that already suffered as badly as it did. And I'm not absolving Scott Gimple. I'm not absolving Angela Kang for the exit of Rick Grimes. I still think it had multiple issues. But how I don't know what happened, but since the two episodes since that have begun since Rick Grimes' exit, it has been very interesting. And I don't know whether that's just because it's the appetizer before the main course, being the Whisperer War, but I don't know, man. I don't want to get my expectations so high, because again, it's like when you've been mistreated for so long, you don't trust that things are going to go well. The show has consistently let me down for a few seasons now, and I've stuck with it despite my hesitations. And I'm worried that this is going to happen again. Like with, oh yeah, they're teasing me, and I like the horror aspect. It so does feel like, I know Angela Kang says she wanted to make it feel like season 4. To me, it feels like season 1. To me, it feels like there is this, this scary world, this new world, and you don't know what's going on. And at any second, your life can be snuffed out. To me personally, I felt the show after season 1, and we knew that they were walkers. We knew that if the group stuck together, they could live. There were going to be tense and scary moments throughout the episodes, but ultimately you knew that the good guys were going to win. This, with the introduction of the Whisperers, at least for now, in the beginning parts, it seems like every walker, you find yourself now, every walker that they encounter, oh my God, don't attack, don't attack, don't attack, because you don't know who's gonna live, because the walkers have a very unique fighting style as well, and hopefully the show will go into it, that it makes it dangerous to attack walkers. And I just gotta give, yeah, like I said, I just gotta give credit where credit is due. I mean, my girl was like, she bet me that if I'm gonna like how they're handling the introduction of the Whisperers, and I said I wouldn't, and then she was like, listen, if you like it, you better make a video and admit you were wrong. And I was wrong. So, you know, and I got to give my props to Angela Kang for how she's handled this transition. But again, I found this Sunday's episode so great. And I'm going to be honest with you, I could have cared less about the main group. And my focal point was like on every little movement in the trees, everything. They're doing a great job with that. And I got to give props where props is due. So hell, next week is the mid-season finale. I hate mid-season finales when it comes to The Walking Dead. The last few mid-season finales to me have felt a little weak. I am hoping that this mid-season finale delivers. But if she sticks with the tone that she's had with her, it's the horror genre, keeping The Walking Dead what it is. Like, that's one of the things about Game of Thrones, which is different, I think, from any other series. Game of Thrones has consistently from day one been it's a political series. Okay. And most people don't, I think they miss that, who are critics of Game of Thrones, but it is a political drama. Okay. And I think that it has understood what it is. And the writing is so great when it comes to Game of Thrones that you can have these other different sub storylines going on, but for the major, no one has ever lost sight of what the end game is, and that's the Iron Throne. But I felt like after season 4, to me, The Walking Dead kind of lost its way. It went from being a surviving series, like a survival series against the horrific situations you can be in, and that, you know, the people you have to fear more than the walkers. And now with the introduction, and then it kind of lagged off because you just had a repeat of villains, and they didn't know how to. And to me personally, I feel the best villain to date. And hey, sorry, Negan fans, the best villain to date to me has always been the governor on The Walking Dead. I felt that character to me was what, and I'm gonna just be honest here. Negan's introduction was phenomenal. I was one of the people who defended The Walking Dead with spoiler alert, if you don't know by now, with Negan killing Abraham and Glenn the way that he did it. I thought that was an excellent introduction to a villain. Okay, but then it just became a joke, a character. Like I just did not feel the actor. It's like if you watch the first episode of when Negan was introduced and then watch the season itself and how it developed, Negan really he became almost annoying to a point where the governor, in my opinion, the horror factor that he carried it consistently. And then when they gave Negan the 2 episodes where we got to see him break down, and then he got deconstructed as a character and then rebuilt himself back up, and then to ultimately end up right where he started, that was phenomenal. And I just felt like other villains after that on The Walking Dead were pedestrian at best. They were just either psychos, or there was no complexity to them. They were either psychos or they were just, obstacles in the way. That's it. So back to what I was saying, because I get into other stuff. But again, like I said, this is my apology video to Angela Kang and The Walking Dead. I definitely feel like she's handling the Whisperer Wars, the introduction of the Whisperers. I should say, let me not say the Whisperer Wars yet, because it hasn't started yet. But I will definitely say how she's handling the introduction of the Whisperers is, I think it's really good. I have to agree. It is really good. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's your boy QuestX. I'm out. Peace.